Hey there, Renee here. We're going to cover one more checklist, and this is pre-inspection. So you're getting this, if you are clients of mine, you're getting this after we go under contract, and these are things that you can do around the house to sort of minimize the amount of red flags that go up from the inspector. So we're not going to conceal anything. That is never our goal. I always, with the seller's property disclosure, we want to disclose. It's always better that way. However, there are some things that we can take into consideration prior to inspection and just minimize the amount of worry that buyers potentially may have from an inspector report. So around your house or on the outside, the grounds, again, I think this is the third or fourth video of me saying it's time to rake the leaves, mow the grass, and trim the trees. Yes, let's do that. If there's a clean out valve for your sewer, make sure that's clear so that the inspector can get in there and do the sewer scope. Having a sewer scope done ahead of time sometimes is great, because then you know if there's a blockage or if there's something going on, then we can get that fixed prior to the inspection and not let that be an inspection negotiation item. So we just take it off the table. In the interior, make sure the doors open and close easily. If you've got to jiggle and wiggle and whatever, the lock or the door handle, now's the time to get it fixed so that that doesn't come up. We want to make that list that they ask for as short as possible. So the fireplace, make sure you have it cleaned. Make sure that you have, if you've had your furnace inspected every year or every other year, pull out that record, put it right on the furnace itself. The year it was bought, any sort of service, maintenance log, that sort of thing. Now's the time to go ahead and put that on there. Same with your water heater. If you haven't drained it in a while, now's the time to drain it, get it all cleared out of that sediment, and then put on there the last time it was serviced, when it was bought, what's the age of it, all that sort of things. Any sort of major mechanical that we can give information to the potential buyer on, the better. Let's put it out there so that we're not asking questions or questioning things. The inspector will very, very much appreciate it. While we're talking about furnaces, change the filter. Even though you just changed the filter 2 months ago, change the filter. In Colorado, we have a lot of dust in the air, and so you'd be surprised how quickly those get dirty. In the kitchen, make sure that you can get underneath the sink, pull those cleaning supplies out, make sure that they can see any sort of plumbing. Same goes for the bathroom, underneath the vanity. Make sure they can see the plumbing and just do the visual inspection. With the with the stove, microwave, make sure that it works, that it's cleaned out and clear. A lot of times underneath gas burners, you'll have sediment, food particles, that sort of thing that drops down in there. Even if it's that day, just go ahead and clean it up, wipe it out, clear it off. That way there's nothing to worry about with the inspector thinking that something needs fixed. Heating and cooling. If make sure that you walk the property, is there a gas smell? Is that there ahead of time? If you have attic access, make sure that access point is clear. If you store things in your attic, make sure that they're neatly put up there, and so that the inspector can actually get up there. They're going to look for the amount of insulation in the attic, as well as they're looking for any sort of electrical fire that's happened or a leak in the roof or things like that. So if you can get up in your attic, get up there, check it out, make sure it all looks good. If there is something wrong in there, please don't try to fix it yourself. I once had a client fall through a ceiling because they were trying to remove an old beehive themselves. Costs a lot more money to fix the drywall and do all of that stuff than it would have just to hire the person to take it out. So something to keep in mind. Bathrooms. If you turn on the shower or the sink and you notice that it drips at the sink level or at the connection, it may not bother you, but the inspector's going to flag it. And so it's going to be another one of those things where as items start to pile up, it's more and more red flags to the buyer. As the market has shifted, the buyers have become more likely just to walk away from properties that need more maintenance. So show that you have pride in ownership and do all these little sorts of things. Sometimes it's just a washer that needs replaced, or it's just a screw that needs tightened up. Take care of those. If you've had your electrical worked on, make sure you put that on there on the seller's disclosure when you had it done. With a lot of older homes, if they've been pigtailed or GFCIs have been installed, just note that on the seller's disclosure so that all that information is there. Then do a safety check. Make sure that you have your carbon monoxide detector installed within 15 feet of all bedrooms. Now here's your tip. Do not get the carbon monoxide detector that is also the smoke detector in one that goes on the ceiling. Why? Because carbon monoxide is a heavier gas or a heavier thing than smoke. So if carbon monoxide gets all the way to the ceiling before it is detected, it's already too late. And if the smoke detector is on the floor, again, doesn't work because smoke is a lot lighter, it rises up. Make sure you have two. You don't have to permanently install them. They can be the plugins, but they do have to be installed for sure before the inspection. They should be installed before the house goes on the market, and they have to be left with the house. You cannot take those with you. I did have a client do that. I had to go install them the day of closing. So crawl space. Make sure your crawl space is clear. Make sure there's access to that. If there's an access point in the basement, make sure it's clear and noted so the inspector can get through there. Anyway, as with all my checklists off the videos, I have these. You're probably getting them. If you're seeing this video off of an email, you are getting them in the email. If you are not a client of mine and you haven't gotten this via email, you're watching it on YouTube. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and contact me at the information below. I will most definitely send you the checklist. Thanks so much for watching this rather lengthy video on pre-inspection, but have a great day.